From the ashes of empires to the quiet corners of a child's heart, one question has haunted humanity since the beginning. Are we born good or evil? Are compassion and cruelty carved into our DNA, or are they choices we learn to make? Every war, every act of love, every law and belief ever written, all spring from this single, haunting mystery. What truly lives inside the human soul? Perhaps the answer isn't found in angels or demons, but in the space between them. The ancient debate, the birth of the question. Long before psychology or science, ancient philosophers tried to chart the moral map of mankind. In ancient Greece, Plato imagined the soul as a chariot driven by three forces: reason, spirit, and desire. To him, goodness was harmony. When reason steered the heart and appetite toward virtue, evil was imbalance, a rebellion of desire over discipline. But Aristotle, his student, disagreed. He believed humans were political animals, creatures of community and moral growth. Virtue wasn't born in us, it was learned through habit. We become good, he said, by doing good. Across the world in ancient China, a similar argument echoed. Confucius and Mencius taught that humans are born with a seed of goodness. Empathy and righteousness are natural instincts, like sprouts that need cultivation. But Sun Tzu, their rival, saw humanity as selfish and chaotic by nature. Without law and ritual to restrain desire, he warned, civilization would collapse into violence. From the very beginning, two visions of humanity collided. One saw us as angels corrupted by circumstance, the other as beasts tamed by reason. Religion and the battle for the human soul. As faith spread, the question of human nature took on divine meaning. In Christianity, we were born into sin, the legacy of Adam and Eve's fall. Every child entered the world carrying the shadow of rebellion. Evil, then, was not taught, it was inherited. Only through grace could we return to the light. In Buddhism, the struggle was inward, not cosmic. Suffering and desire were part of life, not proof of evil. Through mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom, humans could transcend ignorance and awaken their natural goodness. Islam offered another vision, the concept of fitra, that every soul begins pure and good, created in harmony with divine will. But temptation and ego distort that purity, leading humans astray. Salvation, then, was a journey back to our original nature. Whether in temples or monasteries, mosques or deserts, the question remained the same. Are we creatures of light who fall into darkness, or beings of darkness struggling toward the light? The mirror of history, civilization's dual nature. If philosophy and religion debated the question, history lived it. The Roman Empire gave us both sides of the human soul. Its philosophers, like Marcus Aurelius, preached virtue, wisdom, and harmony with nature, but its arenas overflowed with blood. Gladiator games, slavery, conquest, proof that intellect and cruelty can thrive in the same civilization. Rome taught us an uncomfortable truth. The same mind that builds a temple can build a weapon. The same hands that create beauty can also destroy it. Centuries later, during the Age of Enlightenment, new thinkers sought reason over faith. Thomas Hobbes believed humans in their natural state were violent and selfish, nasty, brutish, and short. Only powerful laws and leaders, he said, could prevent chaos. But Jean-Jacques Rousseau countered him. Man is born free, he wrote, and everywhere he is in chains. Humans were innocent by nature, corrupted by greed and inequality. Then came John Locke, who proposed a third path. Humans, he said, are born as blank slates, tabula rasa, shaped not by divine will or sin, but by experience. We are sculpted by the world we live in. History, however, offered darker lessons. The Holocaust, genocides, colonialism, and slavery showed how easily ordinary people can become instruments of cruelty. Yet in those same centuries, others rose against injustice, from abolitionists to civil rights leaders, from pacifists to revolutionaries. Humanity's story is not one of pure good or evil, but of both intertwined. We build kingdoms and burn them. We destroy and then rebuild. The science of human nature, evolution, and the mind. As science replaced superstition, we looked inward again, this time through biology and psychology. Charles Darwin revealed the brutal truth of survival. The fittest endure, the weak perish. At first, it seemed to favor selfishness, competition as the law of life. But as research deepened, scientists found that cooperation, too, is an evolutionary weapon. Wolves hunt together. Ants build empires. Humans, more than any other species, depend on empathy and teamwork to survive. Altruism is not weakness. It's adaptation. Still, psychology uncovered the shadows. The Stanford Prison Experiment, 1971, showed how quickly power corrupts. Ordinary people, given authority, turned cruel. And in the Milgram experiment, volunteers obeyed commands to harm others, simply because they were told to. Evil, it seemed, required no monsters, only obedience. Yet babies, our purest selves, revealed hope. Even at 6 months, infants show compassion, offering toys to comfort others. But they also show bias, preferring those who resemble them. We are born with empathy and prejudice. Human nature, then, is a paradox, a machine built for both kindness and cruelty, cooperation and domination. The battle within, the brain's dual design. Neuroscience shows that the war between good and evil isn't just moral, it's biological. The amygdala, deep in the brain, is ancient and primal. It reacts to fear, threat, and anger, driving us to fight or flee. It kept our ancestors alive, but it also fuels hatred and violence. The prefrontal cortex, by contrast, is newer, the seat of reason, empathy, and self-control. It allows us to think before acting, to sacrifice for others, to imagine peace. Together, they form the battlefield of our nature, instinct versus reflection. Chemistry, too, plays its part. Oxytocin, the love hormone, binds families and friends, but also strengthens tribal loyalty, making us protective of our own and hostile to outsiders. Even empathy has borders. Psychologists speak of the dark triad: narcissism, Machiavellianism, psychopathy. These traits exist not in villains alone, but on a spectrum we all share. We carry both the saint and the predator within us. Perhaps morality is not about erasing the shadow, but mastering it. The modern world, the digital mirror. Today, the ancient question lives on, not in temples or philosophy halls, but in our screens. Technology and social media reveal both extremes of humanity. With one post, we can raise money for strangers, defend the oppressed, or unite across continents. With another, we can spread hate, lies, and cruelty that destroy reputations in seconds. The internet didn't create human nature. It magnified it. It is the world's largest mirror, reflecting both our empathy and our ego. And now, a new force rises: artificial intelligence. Machines learn from us, from our stories, our data, our choices. The question is no longer just, what are humans, but what kind of humans are we teaching machines to be? Will AI inherit our wisdom, or our rage, our compassion, or our chaos? If life itself is information that evolves, perhaps we are now passing the torch, for better or worse. The eternal paradox, the choice within. So, are humans born good or evil? Science, history, and faith all point to the same truth. We are born with both: potential for creation and destruction, mercy and malice. The battle between good and evil is not between nations or gods. It's fought within every heartbeat. When we love, we defy nature's selfish laws. When we hate, we obey them. Our greatness lies not in purity, but in choice. History proves that goodness is not automatic. It must be chosen again and again. Every act of kindness is rebellion. Every moment of empathy is a victory over instinct. Evil may be easy, but goodness is deliberate. And perhaps that's what makes it divine. We are the species that conquered the stars, and yet cannot conquer ourselves. But maybe that struggle is what defines us, because without darkness, light has no meaning. Closing reflection. If history is a mirror, then it reflects not monsters or angels, but something far more complex, us. We are capable of both mercy and madness, compassion and cruelty. And maybe, in the end, being human means living forever on that edge, never fully good, never entirely evil, but always choosing between the two. So perhaps the question is not what we are, but who we decide to become. If this journey made you think, give it a like, share it with someone who asks big questions, and subscribe to Timeless Questions channel, where philosophy meets history and the search for truth never ends.